Hi YouTube, it's Sally and I just wanted to come and talk to you about a HECS mistake that I made, and I want to share it with you so that you don't make the same mistake with your HECS. So you've probably turned on the television or social media and seen ads for Open University. Have you seen those ads? So it looks like, oh wow, I can go back and do some study on Open University. I think they even have, courses at certain universities for free so that you try them out. This is really just a marketing ploy by the universities. And the universities are very accommodating to get you in. And then they'll sign you up. You can agree to start a bachelor's or some kind of study. And they're going to be charging you a price for each unit that you study. So they are doing this it's just basically a marketing ploy. Now, most people now, if you want to get like an undergraduate degree, a Commonwealth supported place, so that means you're not paying the full fees like an international fee student would, but it still adds up to a lot of money. And now with average wages for new university graduates, you have to earn a certain amount to start paying it off. Once you start paying it off, you actually don't make inroads on your HECS debt. So I think you start paying it around $56,000. I think that's the rate at which HECS repayments start. And then you're paying at the lowest rate, I think it's 2% of your take home. And that amount is not enough to cover the indexation of what the HECS debt is going to do. So your HECS debt is going to be growing. So my own story is I took some time out of the workforce when my kids were small, which I was very happy to do, zero regrets. And then I did some work for myself. I was teaching Chinese. I was teaching some yoga to help get through that time when I didn't want to be working. I wanted to be at home with my kids. And then I went back and studied a psychology degree. And I then did honours. Admittedly, I had previous degree, so I got some credit, so I only had to do half a degree, and then I did honours. And so I did rack up some more HECS debt, and I've been paying it off, and it has still been growing. So in hindsight, I think looking back, once I had my job that I really like, so I currently have an almost full-time job doing something that I really enjoy, and it's probably the most enjoyable job that I've ever had that suits my personality. In hindsight, once I had that job, I wish I had stopped my study. So I didn't really need to get the degree to stay on in that work. So don't be fooled into thinking that you need to complete the degree. At various stages, obviously, I thought I was on the pathway to becoming a psychologist, which is a very long path. I've got another video about why I dropped out of my psychology masters. But in order to become a psychologist, once I'd finished my degree, then I had to do honours. And I was doing that part-time to juggle my work and my family commitments. And then I would have had to go on to do masters, and masters involves an unpaid placement, which just I wouldn't have been able to do. So, at all times as I was working towards that goal to get into masters, and I did get into masters, my view was that I would become a psychologist. However, really realistically, knowing the commitment that it takes to do masters with my family and how much I need to work to make that sustainable, I probably should have realized that, hang on a minute, I don't need to keep going. I can just do this job that I really enjoy and stop racking up more HECS debt. Also, the masters that I enrolled in was not a Commonwealth supported place. So at that time, a professional masters was not very many courses where they offer a Commonwealth supported place. So if you are going to do a university degree, check and see if it's a Commonwealth supported place. And definitely each semester, check and say, okay, well, how am I going? For me, getting that job, that part-time job back in the workforce was really tricky. I had been getting administrative roles, and I obviously wanted something that was a bit more interesting and challenging and suited me better. So I felt like I did have to go back to uni, but just while I was studying that degree, I was able to get the job. So always check in each semester, do I need to keep going? How much more debt will I be taking on? And how long will it take me to pay that off? I think people just sign up kind of blindly. Well, that's what I did. I was like, I'm just going to do this course and I'll pay it off when I'm making lots of money as a psychologist. Take into account what happens if that doesn't happen. I definitely think that people don't realize the debt that they're taking on, and if they're going to be earning enough to pay that off at a reasonable pace. So I now have a plan in place for my HECS debt. So I've started putting money aside, extra aside each pay. And I've put that into an index fund, which is sitting there growing. And when it gets to the total of my HECS debt, with the remaining, I'm just going to pay it off because I'm ready to be free of the emotional energy that the HECS debt is weighing on me. And then, yeah, so I just wanted to share that. Don't be fooled. You know, the degree isn't always going to lead to the higher pay packets. And if you have skills and you're earning enough now, maybe you started the degree and it got you where you are now. You don't need to go all the way through. You don't need to graduate. You don't need to rack up that extra HECS debt. All right, so that's a little bit of a story from me about pitfalls, HECS debt pitfalls. I don't think this gets talked about enough. We talk about, you know, what to do when we have the HECS debt and how to pay it off, but really checking in as you're going along. Do I need to continue with my study? All right, great to see YouTube. I hope you found this interesting. Let me know if you've got a HECS debt, how you're going. And I'd love to hear if you've got any stories or strategies for paying off your HECS debt. All right. Please do me a favor. If you enjoy these videos, please share the video with a friend. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. That makes a big difference. That actually really helps me. So I really appreciate your support to help me continue to grow the channel. I'd really, really appreciate if you could like the video and subscribe. Share the video. You can copy the link, send it to someone. Some of you know my first degree was in economics, and so even people with economics degrees make these mistakes. So don't be hard on yourself. Accept that you've got this problem and work on a solution. But I feel like I wanted to share this. I want to help those people who are about to take on more HECS debt. Maybe it's not the right thing to do. So check in each semester. Is this something that I need to do? All right. Great to see YouTube. Come over and see me on Instagram. My handle is @StudioChina. I appreciate you liking and subscribing to my channel. Okay. Bye, guys.